Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, we are back officially.
Yes.
Don't want any more customers.
No, we don't want any more.
Any work for a year.
No.
But, so we are back and on it. So my first project on it of the year, this is the engine donor. For that you can't see, which is the 207D camper. So this is the nice low mileage running 611. And what we are going to do this week is strip all the electronics down in this truck, which is dead. It's one of those things you bought and never got to. It's been here too long. I think 6 years it's been parked up, 7 maybe. We're going to take all the electronics out of it, strip the wiring harnesses down, remove everything we think we need to remove. Use this as a test bed to keep this engine running, so we can pull the engine out, which is beautiful, and has only done, I think, 83,000 miles. It's in
About
kilometres, this truck, because it's a 3.5 ton, or was a 3.5 ton twin cab tipper with a Daco. And then strip the electronics down, so that's coming this week. Fudge, you are on transit. Now, we bought this off of the estate who owned this place mid last year, with first gear missing, didn't we?
Yes.
And it fixed its first gear.
It's fixed itself.
Fixed that itself, and then we discovered that they'd had it welded up horrifically, but it has done no miles.
Yeah, it's low.
60?
It's about 60.
It's either 55 or 60. So this is going to Martin Best, our good customer, with the other Mark 8 Transit, because this is a 2.4 Mark 7. This is much better. That's a strange thing to say about a Transit, but it's definitely better than a Mark 2.
I heard you say it.
2.2 Mark 8.
I heard you say
in comparison, it's not as good as this.
No.
But
It's a good transit.
But it's done transit things, so basically whoever repaired it is horrible. So we're putting sills, inner and outer, and wheel arches in it, aren't we, to make it pucker, and then we'll paint it white. We've got some old footage, I think, of us stripping it down, so there's a video there.
Yeah.
And then I've been on the postal run to the post office with all the stuff we sold on eBay in me Rolling Thunder Hilux when something happened. We went to the post office, did me posting, came out of the post office, merrily toddling up the road, out of Cranbourne, when I got attacked by an Audi Q5. Not my fault. Nice lady, flat out rush for the school run, and when she came whipping out of a junction looking the other way and I was looking at her, I was like, I tried my hardest. I skidded and disappeared off the other side of the road. She was still coming. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go and look at my poor Hilux. But every cloud has a silver lining. It's a nice lady called Jane. It was her fault, but there was no malice in it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't dangerous driving. She was just full flap trying to get a child from school for a hospital appointment. I felt quite sorry for her. I felt that sorry for her. We helped her clear her car off the road because the radiators had all fell out of it and it was leaking stuff all over the place. Then give her a lift to the school to pick the child up and said, I would take you to your doctor's appointment in Salisbury, but my truck doesn't really work very well anymore because you've annihilated it with an Audi Q7. But I was thinking about doing some stuff to me Rolling Thunder, replacing the rusty wing on the driver's side and changing the bumper for one of them big Australian ones. And I keep looking at the Australian bumpers. I found one, but it is £1,000, thinking I don't really need it. Well, I'm going to have it now, and I'm definitely going to have to change my wing. We'll go and have a look. So, yes, there we go. She's slightly ruined that, isn't she? But on the upside, this survived much better than the Q7. I'll put some photographs in once I blank the number plate. Came steaming across the road and went mush full front on and just sort of fell in bits on the floor. Q5. I think it's a Q5. Might be Q5. I think it's a Q5 or a Q7. I'm not terribly up
They
there.
look the same to me.
Well, they come flat out at you without someone looking. Yeah, they all look the same. So basically, it appears to have my bumper that has died.
Yeah.
Chassis leg, perfect. Bonnet, tap outable.
Yeah.
The wing, admittedly, which I have been thinking about replacing, and I couldn't quite make me mind up because it was the original one, but it was a bit rusty. I think that is done now.
You think you're going to replace it now?
I think I might just buy the genuine Toyota one I'd found on eBay the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have to. It needed some paintwork anyway, so at least it's not dead. So, and I was considering wasting £1,000 on this big winch bumper that comes up to here that a man could put, and I kept thinking it was probably a pointless idea. And did I really need one? Well, if I'd have bought one of them, we wouldn't be here, would they? There would be nothing left of an Audi, and we might have to scuff some black paint on the corner of the bumper. So that's made me mind up. So I'm going to go and order myself a wing.
Yeah.
I found a raised air intake.
Oh.
I can't remember. I think it's this side, and I reckon I need that side.
You need it for that side, opposite side to where you're...
Yeah, it can't be that much of a blind spot.
Ah.
We can work on that anyway, so because I don't want one of them snorkely things. This thing has got a filter on the top of it, but Australian. Mm-hmm. So I'll put that on, put this on, paint my wing, repaint my bonnet. Worry about that bit later.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I don't want a multicoloured pickup truck and spend £1,039 on a big. I'll put some photographs in of what I'm going to buy. And then I've got a 13-ton winch because you might just need that behind them, and you might as well put it in.
Yeah.
So that sort of made me. My headlights survived. It did. And I can buy the grill ends. I was looking at a set of them the other day.
It's facing the right way.
Yeah. And, it could be and to be honest, I don't actually think. I mean, it has tweaked the corner. It hasn't touched the chassis at all. And it hasn't really touched the bottom.
No,
it's. I mean, luckily enough, it was fairly low speed. I pretty much stopped by the time she accelerated. Well, she just went, and I was like, "Ooh, Audi!"
Oh.
Yeah, no, she's a very nice lady.
It's only tucked it in a little bit on the slab.
Yeah, I think
there,
that'll
come out.
That'll come out. Bash a bit on that. It hasn't done radiators or anything like that. And I mean, that leg is perfect. I mean, to be honest, it hasn't even touched it. It's just folded the crappy bumper brackets up. So I'll tap that. Just a bit. I know that is the air.
Yeah.
It's going to involve a bit of bashing.
He's all right under there.
So what we got to do now is persuade the insurance company. Well, we're not. They're not having it.
No.
No, they're not having it. They were on full flap as well. I mean, she's admitted liability. I've got all her details. She's a very nice lady. She just wasn't looking.
We all have our off days.
We all have our off days. There was no point shouting at her. She was in bits. So, even though I was like, oh, for Christ's sake. But look on the upside. Because the Kangoo has gone, obviously, to another person.
Yes.
So the Kangoo...
Congratulations, Andy.
Yeah, he did really well. He's in Leicester. We spoke to him. We're going to deliver it. I stopped driving the Kangoo when we put the competition on.
Yes. Reason being?
This happens.
We didn't want anything like this to happen to it.
So, I mean, on the upside, if we'd been still driving the Kangoo, it'd have been properly dead. That would have given us some problems.
Yeah.
So the Kangoo, obviously, so basically... And apart from the lady in the insurance company is completely confused because, of course, this is only just been... But on the upside, at least this was sorted, registered, legal. And not on a set of Norwegian number plates. So I'm going to need to go. Broke all my grill clips.
You can still get these right.
Yeah, you can get these. It's only done that one and that one, and I think we can repair that. And I mean, in dead, I'd be mortified if it was. We'd be off finding cabs.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it? No. I mean, even if I bought one of these once, right, Mark IV, years ago, where it's so hard, it was the right-hand drive one. That chassis leg there was touching the floor.
No way.
Fixed it. Got it within 2 mil of its factory tolerance.
Near enough's good enough.
Yeah. Well, no. It was better than the. It was that. It was perfect. It took a lot of doing. We had to cut the old front corner off of it, and then. And it came back. Lots of heating, tapping. I mean, it's still going now. I know where it is. So that's nothing. It's just a bit annoying that.
It's merely a scratch.
It's merely a scratch, but it proves. When you have a look at the photograph, it proves quite how crap plastic modern cars are. Cause Audi is broken. It's dead. Yeah. It was. I mean, luckily enough, we don't have to argue because obviously she backed out the way. There's no argument where she hit me because. And
to be fair, the photograph of your brake lines going
across the other side of the
road. There's no dispute.
When it was only literally 25 mile an hour, I was like, ah! There's no ABS on this. Is there? It just stood locked up and went squeak, and then she just But yeah. Right. We'll see what the insurance company say. I'm keeping it then, not having it.
Yeah, no, they can't have it.
Have to drive around in a recovery truck for a week now. I could just drive around in this, pull the bumper off the wing a bit, can I? Wing off the
put a bulb in there, you'd be all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's more the fact that there's a bit of cushion in the tyre.
Oh, yes.
But if you get hold of this bit here and do this, I think I sort of come back where it's supposed to be. Might have to unscrew it a bit.
I think you might have pulled the bumper out a bit far.
I think it's, I don't know what it's done, but it hasn't damaged that
No,
at all.
no,
It's
it's all
literally
good.
just bent the bumper bracket sideways.
Yeah.
Gone, meh,
Oh no.
meh. Finally managed to get that seat. Oh, you have?
Yes!
Yes, only
That was
3
a
hours to
pain
get
of-
one seat bolt out.
That was a pain in the foot.
Yes.
Yes.
So we started on this a while ago, like we do,
Yeah.
and then got distracted, and it had been parked outside for a few months.
Yeah.
Now, the wheel arch is good.
Wheel arch is good.
Wheel arch is good. The inner footwell had been repaired by a cretin with a big sheet of tin.
It had. It was horrid.
It's horrid.
It was
so
horrid.
We've cut that off.
Yes.
And the inner and the outer seals are rubbish.
Yes.
But apart from that, transit-wise,
It's not bad, is it?
yeah, it's got a chassis. It's got door posts, inner wings, and it runs.
And it runs.
Apart from the annoying ignition key. We're going to have to fix that, because it wasn't like that. When we first got it, it ran, started fine, but it didn't have first gear. Now it's done, because I lubed the bush bit that seizes up. We've got first gear, but the ignition key, unless you hold it down, it'll not stay running. Makes driving it a bit technical.
So you've got to be like...
Yeah, so we're going to replace on that.
Yeah.
Fix the driver's seat, because it's got a hole in it.
Yes.
Luckily enough,
we
'cause-
know a chap that can do stuff like that.
Well, to be honest, I've got a seat.
You got a seat?
Yeah, that silver one. It's here somewhere, I saved it.
Okay.
So I only need to, but I can fix that. So I put the seat so it's mint.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a bit of a sprucing and a clean up, and then we're going to need to paint the bottom of it white and fix that. Because someone ran out of talent with involving a tree there, didn't they? So we're going to have to pull that back straight.
Yeah. Heaty.
Heaty, lifting with forklift, I think, hitting, tapping, and I reckon
Yeah.
that'll come
We
back.
can get in behind that and bash
That back, and then in transit fashion, for some strange reason, the rear panel, fella panel across the back of the chipping body.
It's lightning, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's gone, and I don't quite know why the rest of it's mint, but that bit fell off, so we'll just have to make another one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over here and explain the cunning plan with the 2.2 Sprinter.
Okay.
Right. So you will see, I have removed the dashboard and removed the wiring harness and all the electronics out of this thing I want. Now, luckily enough, this truck didn't actually have ABS, so we don't have to code that out. So what we have here is the electronic throttle pedal. Yeah, because this is potentiometer throttle pedal. There is no cable because the engine's CDI. Obviously, we have a dashboard. We don't actually need a dashboard. It'll run without it, but it's plugged in for a minute. This is the WPS. Now, this is the key reader. So in your 904, 905 Mercedes Sprinter is this key receiver. And then in your key is a little chip. We've obviously taken the key out, put it in there. We have the fuse box, the one that sits under the steering column. And then just plugged in here is an old ignition barrel of mine. So you'll see the lights come on. And if I do this, hang on, what have I done now? Yeah, doing well. Stay in there. That we're coming up. Start error, which means we're not reading this chip here because I've just moved it. Oh, you're all plugged in, aren't you? Yes. We still coming up start error? No, we have cured that. So basically, that's it running. So they've got an engine management computer. I'll turn it off down there. Don't need that running. Engine management computer is there now. That's got its own separate. There's two plugs on the ECU. Well, not two wiring harnesses coming into it. And there's a set of plugs coming from the engine and a set of plugs coming from the truck. Now what I need to do is reduce this down to take all the unnecessary wiring. So in here are lights, headlights, all sorts of stuff that I don't need. What I basically need, for the minute, we're keeping the WPS. Now I can break into this ECU and remove the immobiliser. I may do that at the end. I don't know. It will be quite nice to have, for the old T1 over there, a sort of a secondary key safe so that no one can nick it. And so if you haven't got this chip that's stuck on there, you're knackered. So we'll think about that one. But basically, this truck was tachoed, so we've got some tacho feeds, but that doesn't matter. We do not need a speedo registering off of any of this. So what we've got to remove out of here is all the speed sensor feeds, any of the light wiring, and I really need to get rid of this fuse box. I don't want this fuse box, so I'm going to sit here and figure out. There are 2 fuses in here supplying the vehicle's ECU, so I'm going to sit here and pull all the fuses out until it doesn't start, and then put the fuses in that keep it running, and then we'll figure out where the feeds are coming off, which plugs I can pull, what wiring I can remove. And then I need the minimal wiring to start the engine, if that makes any sense. Right, so quite a few hours later, I didn't do it on time lapse, so we still have a dashboard. Ignore all these lights because this is a different dashboard. I have a throttle pedal. We are in 3,000 rev limit, so I've got to get around because a Sprinter will not rev up until it moves. So I've got to figure out how to take or give it a signal. So basically at current, computer is sat there running. We have the WPS key reader completely separated. He's there. Ignition barrel, well, that's gone. Fuse box is gone. We are basically running off of 1, 2, 3, 4 wires off a battery pack and a starter motor trigger, which goes through and triggers over at the other side of the truck. This is coming back from the starter motor trigger, which is the wire that tells the ECU the vehicle's cranking and to let it have it. We have saved to diagnostic plug, but we've got to put a positive and a negative to power it up just in case when we need it, so that's fine. And obviously we have a massive great lump of loom running straight to the ECU, running the throttle. So I need to tidy all this up now. I mean, there is a ton of wiring over there. I have cut all sorts of stuff out. If you look here, that's, oh, hang on, oop. This is what I have lost out of the loom already. So this is working quite well. And if I want to turn it off, there we go. Everything is dead. So yeah, no, good. So it's about 5 hours later now. So you'll see there's nothing in here at all. Well, I think we've finally managed to succeed. I'll go and show you all the stuff I've cut out, and then I'll show you what we've managed to achieve. So this big pile here on the floor is basically what I've trimmed out of the main internal cab harness that I didn't need. Well, I don't think I needed because it still works. So I'll spin you around to the bench that's behind you, because basically the entire engine management system now is not in the vehicle anymore. So here we have dashboard. Not that we need the dashboard, it'll run without the dash, but I do need the sensor feeds from it. This is the WPS and the key reader. Yeah, and the key chip stuck to it. This is the start solenoids from underneath the driver's seat. Well, there's a loop that goes over and comes back again. We've taken that out, moved it, shortened it. So propped up by this fuel pump, you will see a Bosch ECU. Yep. And then down here we have the diagnostic port, the 12-pin one. That's still here. It's all plumbed up, just needs a power feed. Basically a big slight bird's nest of reduced wiring. So what we've got here is, these are the ECU feeds, all joined together. There are 3 of them. And then over here we have the WPS and the dash feed. So you go dash feed first, because this will all be wired to a key obviously at the end. Then the ECU feeds, and then basically you will see, we'll prop that up with that whacker gun, the dashboard is live. No start safe, temperature gauge is reading, fuel gauge isn't because it hasn't got a fuel gauge because I've cut it off. So this is the heavy current ignition trigger wire that would normally be attached to the key, and hopefully if I do that, then go brum. Or it does if you don't knock the wires off and make it stop. Right, push the wires in properly. Broom. Registering 1,000 revs. Now obviously here, this age of Sprinter has an electronic throttle pedal. Now, it is in, with a Sprinter of this age, it will not rev up until it knows it's moving. So it'll 3,000 rev limit it, the idea being that you can't sit at the traffic lights with it decked and let the clutch go. I've got to get round that. I don't think it's critical, it's difficult. This truck hasn't got ABS, so in theory, it'll be registering off of one speed circuit on here. So what I need to do is either remove the 3,000 limit, which I think I can do coding wise, so that it doesn't have it, because otherwise it won't know it's moving, and at the moment you can pin it, won't go over the 3. But basically it's registering all of its engine sensors, so crankshaft, camshaft, 4 electronic injectors, turbo boost pressure, the boost controller is up, he's where he should be. You'll see the coolant temperature is registering, because if it doesn't register coolant temperature or it registers full, it'll put itself in limp. And basically all I've got to do now is tidy that lot up and fit it into that. Once I've coded the speed, the stationary limit out of here, and then I'm going to change this, which I think is possible for this. So obviously we have eradicated the fuse box for the minute. She has gone. We know what fuses we need. This is the earlier Sprinter electronic throttle potentiometer, which has a cable on it, which will work much better on that than this big plastic thing, if it's possible. So we've got 4 wires and about 12 wires, so we can work that out. So I'm going to attempt to fit this to that, and then that still leaves me a key-based immobiliser in a T1, so no one can nick it, and everything running standard as it should. I'll just rev it again. So basically, ignore the EDC light and the tacho light. Basically, there are no faults in the engine. As soon as you unplug the tachograph out the loop, it sticks the EDC light on. But seeing as this dashboard is not used, we're not using that, we only need the oil and the water feeds out of it, which are easy enough to gain for lights for the dashboard in that. And then the speedo in that is mechanical, so we don't need that one, and it don't have a rev counter. We could do with the engine light, obviously, just in case there's a fault, but we do have the diagnostic plug still, and all the CAN bus communication lines. That was a shotgun of work. I'm just going to turn this off. You have to go like that, and then like that. That has taken me pretty much 2 days. But I told you it was doable. So that's the wiring harness, because obviously this here, this is the main through cab harness. There's plugs, those are the plugs, and the loom is completely simplified. So by the time I've removed the dash, we are away. Easy. Anyway, I'm going to drink my tea, because it's 7:25 at night, and I've had enough of CDIing for the day. I'll put my laptop back on charge, because I managed to accidentally, once I'd spent hours taking it all out, checking every 5 minutes that it worked, put it on a bench, plumb it up, and I'd managed to somehow earth out the dead stop on it, and it wouldn't go. So it only took me 3 hours with a wiring diagram to figure out what I'd done, take the wire off. Boom! So I'm not doing that again. Right. So next plan, not this video. We need to take this, obviously, out of here, because this vehicle is dead and done now. So I'll pull the rad pack, pull the engine and gearbox out, tidy my wiring harness up, it's all over there, and then I want to set this engine on the floor, take the gearbox and the flywheel off of it, I'm just going to pull the engine back out, the test engine back out of this T1 here, and then next time we need to figure a flywheel that works with the 310 gearbox that's in there now, the 5-speed, that gives us a crank pointer to make this run, which could be quite technical. So we're going to put all this together on the floor. We'll use that wiring harness to start it, but that's not today. But what I will show you is it's going to be like Daihatsu Sunday. So we've got lots of Daihatsu treasure that you haven't seen. So we're going to have a quick preview of that now, and then you'll have to come back for the rest of the Daihatsu stuff on Sunday, and the rest of this probably next week. Right. So we start in one of the Daihatsu corners. So you will have seen, this is a Daihatsu F50 van that I brought back just before Christmas. That's recoverable. It's a bit rusty, but it's not too badly rusty. This is a Daihatsu F50 soft top. And the soft top ain't bad, but the truck, it has gone. But it does run and drive. Might be slightly lacking a radiator, but she is alive. Chassis, good. Body, not so good. Seats are okay. There's some salvageable bits out of it. It is turnkey. It will fire up now, and same will that one. Same with that one, so will that one. So what I've got, I'm going to show you some other stuff now. So we're going back over here for third preview Daihatsu. So here we have another Daihatsu. This one is quite dead. Now this is an F20, so this is a petrol Daihatsu, but it's not very good. The back axle is missing. We do have it. It is left-hand drive, but it comes with a bonnet that's quite good. There's a quite good windscreen frame underneath there. There's some doors and some other bits, and there is a fuel tank which we need for the one over there that's missing a fuel tank. So this is spares, left-hand drive. But I might happen to have acquired another Daihatsu today. Ta-da! So, mate of mine sent me a Facebook Marketplace listing locally. It's on the in devices. So this is another Daihatsu F20. Petrol. Could possibly be a runner. We might have a go at that on Saturday, see if we can get that to go. Now, it might look a bit crap, because it's got a homemade cut-down Land Rover windscreen in it. The bonnet is rubbish. But body-wise, compared to the other two soft-top Daihatsus, this one's quite good. Just wants a bit of inner wing love in there, and some bonnetry and windscreen love, which a man's got. That was the bonnet leaving and falling on the floor. So, £400. And it came with some headlights, so I'd give him an extra 50 quid, but he's got some brand new headlights and some brand new headlight rings, so we snaffled those. So basically what we're going to be doing on, well, it'll be during the end of the week, but you'll see it Sunday, is we're going to get this going. And then I'm going to steal the body off of this and put it on another one, but I'm going to explain that all at the weekend. So thank you very much for watching our stupidity. Al, there is a fudge, he's in there welding up his transit steps, he's doing quite well. We might show you that next week as well. And then also next week we are going to start, so you might not see some more Mercedes-ing, but you will see the big black BMW start to come apart. So that's on raffle. Please buy a ticket. There's a link in the description. So if you want to win a just on 100,000 miles 645 CI V8 hooligan wagon black BMW, we've got you covered. And then early next week there's another one coming that's not a BMW. That might be next weekend. Anyway, Al, 60 diesels.